Here's something most people get completely backwards about strength training. They either think it's for athletes and bodybuilders, or they think more is always better. More sets, more days, more volume, more suffering. But what if the research shows that you can get most of the longevity and functional benefits of strength training with significantly less than you think? And what if the people who actually need this information the most are the ones nobody's making videos for? Today, we're talking about muscle. Not for aesthetics, not for a six-pack, but for independence. For the ability to carry your groceries at 70, get up from the floor at 75, live on your own terms for as long as possible. That's what the science is actually pointing to. And today, I'm breaking it all down. Here's something happening to your body right now, whether you notice or not. After the age of 30, you begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of roughly 3 to 8% per decade. After 60, that rate accelerates. This process has a name, sarcopenia, and it's not a cosmetic issue. Sarcopenia is one of the strongest predictors of functional decline, falls, hospitalization, and loss of independence in older adults. Think about what that means in real day-to-day life. It's not about how you look, it's about whether you can get up from a low chair without using your arms, carry 2 bags of groceries from the car to the kitchen, catch yourself if you trip on a step, walk up a flight of stairs without stopping halfway. These are the things that determine whether you live independently or whether someone else has to do them for you. So the question isn't whether this affects you. The question is whether you do something about it before it does. Half of people over 80 have clinically significant muscle loss. So what does the research actually say we can do? This is where it gets genuinely encouraging. A 2024 randomized comparative effectiveness trial looked at a specific question. What is the minimum dose of resistance training needed to improve quality of life, functional capacity, and strength in healthy older adults? They compared 2 protocols, a 3x5, 3 sets of 5 reps versus a 5x5. And here's what they found. Both groups showed significant improvements in quality of life, functional capacity, and strength within 3 weeks, not 12 weeks. 3. The 3x5 group achieved comparable outcomes to the higher volume group. 3 sets, 5 reps, 3 weeks. This fits into a broader body of literature on minimum dose resistance training. A 2021 review published in Sports Medicine confirmed the same pattern. Consistent, low-volume resistance training produces meaningful adaptations in strength, function, and quality of life, even at volumes far below what most gym programs recommend. The optimal frequency for most people, 2 to 3 sessions per week. Not every day, not 5 times a week, 2 to 3. And one large epidemiological study found that middle-aged adults who performed just 1 to 3 strength training sessions per week were 40 to 70% less likely to experience a heart attack or a stroke. Let's talk briefly about physiology, because understanding the why makes it easier to actually do this. Muscle tissue is not passive, it's metabolically active. It produces signaling molecules called myokines that have systemic anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body. When you train your muscles, you are triggering a cascade of biological responses that go well beyond the muscle itself. Muscle mass also directly influences insulin sensitivity. More functional muscle means your body handles blood glucose more efficiently, which reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes and the metabolic cascade that follows from it. And for a pure biomechanics standpoint, muscle is your structural armor. Strong legs, a stable and functional core, a capable upper body. This means better joint health, better posture, less chronic pain, and crucially, better balance and fall prevention. Falls are one of the leading causes injury-related death in older adults. Not heart attacks, falls. And the single strongest predictor of fall risk is lower body muscle strength. So when we talk about strength training for longevity, we are not talking about something abstract. We're talking about whether you stay upright. So what does a minimum effective dose program actually look like? First, you don't need complicated programming. The research is consistent. Compound movements targeting major muscle groups 2 to 3 times per week with progressive challenge over time. That means movements like a squat pattern. Leg press works fine if your knees are concerned. A hip hinge, Romanian deadlifts, or even just a hip hinge drill with light load. A pulling movement, rows, lat pull downs, cable work. A pressing movement for the upper body. You don't need 10 exercises. 4 to 6 quality movements done consistently over months and years will change your trajectory. Second, intensity matters more than volume for this purpose. You want to challenge the muscle enough to drive adaptation, but you don't need to train to failure on every set. Controlled, moderate to challenging intensity with good technique is the goal. Quality of movement matters. It always does. Third, and this is something I feel strongly about, the goal here is not how you look. Will you look better as a byproduct of building and maintaining functional muscle? Very likely. But that's not the primary driver. The primary driver is function, capacity, independence. We are training so that at 65, you can play with your grandchildren on the floor and get back up without thinking about it. We are training so that at 75, you don't need to ask someone to help carry your bag. We are training because your autonomy, your ability to live life the way you choose is worth protecting. That's not a bodybuilder mindset. That's a long game mindset. The minimum dose of strength training to age well is lower than most people think. 2 to 3 sessions per week. Compound movements. Progressive challenge over time. Consistency over years, not perfection over weeks. That's the science. That's what the research supports. And that's what I want you to take away today. If you found this useful, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to bring you the science of exercise applied to real life. Not bodybuilding programs, not trending workout formats. The evidence-based approach to staying strong, mobile, and independent for as long as possible. I'll see you in the next one.